What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What up? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields the second. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy. Y'all know where my body be. Make sure you guys are locked in on the content. I really appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. You guys are truly phenomenal. And, feels good. Feels good. We're that much closer to the NFL season. It's June 16th, 11:48 a.m. where I am, 12:48 p.m. where you are. It all depends. But nonetheless, though, you guys are phenomenal. Make sure you guys continue to support the channel. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, especially if you're new. I got to always say I'm grateful when I get newcomers. I'm grateful for new viewers, right? And I always appreciate when the current community, the people who are in the community now, they always welcome the newcomers with open arms. You guys are phenomenal. So I appreciate you guys for locking in the way you guys do. Do not forget to hit that like button. That like button is currency in this YouTube space. It's currency. It's how we move. It's how we pay to play. It's how we pay our way. You feel what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to donate, you guys. You guys always know you have the option at your leisure to donate to the channel, that super chat or that super sticker button. It's entirely up to you. But also, make sure you guys take advantage of our SeatGeek promo code, Chalk It Up Sports. There, you'll be able to get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. I repeat, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. All you got to do is download the app, create an account, decide what live event you want to go to. It's baseball season. It's concert season. Why not get a discount on that? Take advantage of the promo code Chalk It Up Sports at the checkout window, and you'll be able to get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Now, I got to also shout out my people who hold me down on Spotify, who hold me down on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. You guys are truly valuable to the show. Even those of you guys who watch the playback, maybe you can't catch me live. Maybe you watching me on your own time right now. Maybe you like to watch it in pieces. Doesn't really matter to me as long as you double back, man. Double back like a deluxe. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys, again, just make sure you're staying engaged. Stay a part of the community. We like to have fun here. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes we go back and forth. But, we're having fun at the end of the day. All right. Let's not waste too much time. let's not waste too much time. Let's get right into it. So there's something I want to talk about with you guys, in particular as it pertains to Jalen Hurts. I came across the clip yesterday, and the funny thing about it is this clip is not new. This clip has been out there. I think it's been out there since about April or May of this year, if I'm not mistaken. But I saw a clip out there pertaining to Jalen Hurts and his contract situation with the Eagles. Well, I can't even call it a situation. His contractual relationship with the Philadelphia Eagles. His Jalen Hurts' agent, Nicole Lynn. Shout out to Nicole Lynn. Nicole Lynn isn't just the agent of Jalen Hurts. She also represents a bevy of players in the NFL, and she's also the president of football for Clutch Sports. So Nicole Lynn is a decorated sports agent. She's negotiated some of the most lucrative deals in recent memory in the NFL, and she's one of the fastest growing, one of the hottest names in sports right now. So got to give credit to that beautiful Black woman, Nicole Lynn, doing amazing work for NFL players, doing amazing work for Jalen Hurts, doing amazing work for a woman and Black woman in sports. So got to show love to Nicole Lynn, but she represents Jalen Hurts. And she was sitting down with attorney and former NFL agent and player Dominique Price, and they were discussing the nature of Jalen Hurts' contract and how it came to fruition. They were talking about a bevy of other things. I believe it was a part of their Sprouted learning series. I think Nicole Lynn has like a course, like an online course that's moderated by Dominique Price for up-and-coming sports agents. And they talked about a bevy of things outside of Jalen Hurts, but they wanted to know how she negotiated one of the most lucrative quarterback contracts in NFL history. There was a point in time where Jalen Hurts was the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. And then guys like Lamar, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, they got paid. And, he kind of fell down that list. I think as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jalen Hurts is the 11th highest paid quarterback in football right now. Let me make sure I got that right here before we get too deep into our subject matter here. Jalen Hurts, as it stands right now, he's the 11th ranked highest paid quarterback in football. Jalen Hurts is making an average salary of $51 million a year. Ahead of him at 10, you have Lamar Jackson making $52 million a year. Justin Herbert making $52.5. Jared Goff making $53. Brock Purdy making $53. Tua Tagovailoa making $53.1 million a year. Trevor Lawrence at $55. Josh Allen at $55. Jordan Love at $55 million a year. Joe Burrow at $55 million a year as well. And Dak Prescott is number one at $60 million a year. Isn't it funny that Dak Prescott makes more than Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, and he hasn't even been as far in the playoffs as them? But that's a different conversation. I don't want to make this about Dak. The point is, Jalen Hurts is no longer the highest paid quarterback, and Jalen Hurts' contract at this present time is looking like a steal. His current contract is looking like a steal, but it's a reason for that. It's a reason why Jalen Hurts is of a rare breed. It's a reason why Jalen Hurts, his contract seems to be one of the most unique quarterback contracts we've seen, especially since this new run of quarterbacks getting 45, 50, 55 plus million, 60 plus $million a year. You can make an argument the Eagles have truly maximized what it means to pay a quarterback 50 plus $1 million per year. And not many teams are able to build what the Eagles have built, paying a quarterback that kind of money. But again, it's a reason why things worked the way it worked. It's a reason. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're going to get into this clip featuring Nicole Lynn of Clutch Sports and Dominique Price, attorney and former NFL agent and former NFL player. I want to get y'all perspective on this. We're going to break it down piece by piece. So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Jalen is just such a selfless guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was adamant about whatever deal, he told me to do the deal. He didn't want any updates till it was done, which is very rare.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of clients that are like, give me every update. What's the counter? He's like, I don't want to hear anything. Just tell me when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jalen Hurts is such a selfless guy. We knew that already. I mean, the way he carries himself, the way he moves in the community, the way Jalen Hurts moves as a teammate from what we can see. He doesn't need to be the face or doesn't need to be the guy every day or every Sunday. He doesn't care about that. As a matter of fact, he didn't even want to know what was going on with his negotiations. And Nicole Lynn has been doing this for a long time. She studied a lot. She studied a lot of agents, and she knows her craft. It's rare, according to her, it's rare for players to not want to know what's going on with the negotiations in their contract. She says it's rare. And I would imagine so, because if my agent is negotiating a major deal for me, I would like to know what's going on throughout the process. But it does speak to where his mindset is and where it always is. He wants to focus on his job as the player, focus on his role, on getting better, and let his agent do her job. That speaks to the trust. That speaks to the relationship. That speaks to how much equity Nicole Lynn has built up with Jalen Hurts. Let's keep it going.
And he's like, don't screw the team. Make sure my team is around me. And so I actually remember coming back to him and the day that the deal was done and saying, hey, you're the highest paid player in NFL history. And his response was, well, I didn't ask you to do all that.
Don't screw the team. He said, don't screw the team. She comes back and says, hey, I just made you the highest paid guy in NFL history. He's like, that wasn't the goal, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the goal. Don't screw the team. As much as people criticize Jalen Hurts for being carried or whatever it is, okay, in my humble opinion, it's very difficult to carry somebody for 4 or 5 straight seasons of playoff performances and 2 Super Bowl runs and a Super Bowl championship, a Super Bowl MVP, 2 Pro Bowls, an All-Pro, a Burt Bell Award. I think it's really hard to carry somebody for that long, personally. I don't buy into the whole carrying narrative. I don't buy into it. Jalen Hurts is somebody that understands the value of team. He understands the value of sustaining success. And in order to sustain success, one has to make sacrifices of themselves. One has to show that they're willing to make the same sacrifices as others. He says, I don't care what you do, don't screw the team. Make sure we can still build this thing. You got a lot of players out here that want to get every nickel, every dime, every penny they can. And I don't blame them. That's the funny thing about it. Like, I appreciate Jalen Hurts' perspective and how he sees it, and Nicole Lynn, right? But I also don't blame a player for wanting to get everything they believe they're owed. I'm never going to be the one to try to say what a player should and shouldn't ask for. I may have an opinion on what I think that player's services could be worth, depending on injury, depending on experience, depending on production. I may have an opinion based on that, but I'm never going to look at a guy and say, hey, you're not worth this. You don't deserve to ask for this. I can't speak to that. I would never get in the way of a guy asking for what he believes he's owed. Never. I would never talk down on the guy for doing that. But I will acknowledge is that, hey, be careful what you ask for, because what you ask for can become a hindrance in other ways. There is a trade-off here. When you want to be the highest paid guy or when you want all the money, there's a trade-off there. It makes it more difficult for the team to build around you. They're going to be asking you to do way more than you probably want. You may not have a defense. You may not have a running game. You may have to go cheap on O-line. You got to be careful what you ask for. And you also got to be mindful of how your contract affects the cap. Let's keep going.
And I was just like, okay.
All right.
Thanks. I thought you were going to say, thank you. Good job.
Right.
But he was so concerned about his team. Like,
Yes.
how am I going to keep my team around? How are these guys still going to be paid? And he wanted me to show him. How does it affect the cap? So the option bonuses help Jaylen to have peace that, hey, don't worry that you're getting $51 million a year. We've done it this way so it doesn't affect the cap. The cap hit is not that large. Like he needed to be educated on that before he would let me accept the deal because he cared so much about his teammates. So Jay,
that's important. He said, listen, I'm glad that you did your job. You did your job. I didn't ask you to do all that, but you did your job. And she was very specific to mention that Jaylen didn't want to screw the team. He wanted to make sure other guys around him could get paid. He wanted to make sure the other guys around him could be made whole, or they would end up happy with their negotiations or with the money they asked for or what was possible for the team. He understood early, because remember, he signed the contract after the 2022-2023 season. He signed the contract during the 2023 offseason. After the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, he signed the contract then. Now, the 2023 season is technically still the final year of his rookie deal. So his new contract, his extension, didn't take effect until the 2024 season. And what did Jalen Hurts do when that money became active in 2024? They upped the ante, made it to the Super Bowl again, won it all. The first year of the contract took effect in 2024. He wins the Super Bowl. Talk about making do or living up to the expectations. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts. Criticize his game. Criticize the way he plays it. Criticize his talent. Listen, say what you want. Say what you want. I'm at a point now where, and sometimes it becomes difficult because some people say the craziest things. Like I saw Joe DeCamera, and I had Joe DeCamera on the show before years ago. I think I had Joe DeCamera on Chalk It Up Sports, I want to say in 2022, something like that. I had him on the show, maybe 2023. I had him on the show. And yeah, it was 2023. And I can't remember. 2022, 2023, I can't remember. But regardless, though, I had Joe DeCamera on the show. And I respect Joe DeCamera. I respect him even giving my show a chance. He was one of my first high-profile guests. I met him at the Maxwell Awards. So, but he doesn't even have Jalen Hurts in the top 10 Philly athletes. He doesn't even have him in the top 15. I think he says he's like between 15 and 20, something like that. Like, I'm at a point now where I don't even care what people say about Jalen Hurts, because at the end of the day, the facts are facts. The results are the results. This is a results-based business. Everything we do in life is based off of results. Everything we do in life is based off of our cumulative decisions, our cumulative actions. And because Jalen Hurts had the foresight to say, you know what? I don't want to screw the team. I need to be educated on how my contract affects the cap on a yearly basis before I accept this deal, because I understand that I'm only as good as the guys around me. My job is to play my role, and I want to make sure that the guys that I have around me can be taken care of. We can keep this thing going for a long time. Jalen Hurts mentioned it on many occasions. I'm not going to measure my career based on stats or numbers or whatever it is. I'm measuring my career based off of how many times I lift up that Lombardi trophy. How many times did I get a Super Bowl ring? That's how I'm measuring my career, because that's where legends are made. That's how you get invited to those rooms. That's how you get invited to those rooms. Listen, Karl Malone, one of the greatest power forwards we ever seen in basketball. Karl Malone, the mailman, one of the best ever. Some will say he's probably the greatest power forward of all time. Some people may say that. If you say that, okay. But guess what? That's reserved for Tim Duncan. That's reserved for Tim Duncan. Some people may say KG. That's you can argue him as well. KG got a ring. KG's done it before. Tim Duncan's done it like 4 or 5 times. There's rooms Tim Duncan can go in that Karl Malone can't go into. Karl Malone is in the Hall of Fame. Karl Malone is in the Hall of Fame. There's rooms he can't go into because he ain't got the hardware. Dan Marino, one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen in football. Dan Marino, yes, Hall of Famer Dan Marino, as talented as he is and was, as decorated as of a career he's had, with Pro Bowls and All Pros and whatever it may be, right? And some people may say Dan Marino was better than Steve Young. What are you talking about? Steve Young, talent-wise, no comparison. Dan Marino was one of one. Some people may say Dan Marino was more talented than Joe Montana. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But guess what? There's rooms Dan Marino can't go in that Joe Montana or Steve Young can go in. There's rooms. Say what you want about Eli Manning. Say what you want about him. There's rooms he can go in. There's rooms he can go in that Tony Romo can't, that Phillip Rivers can't. That's the fact. That's the fact. Aaron Rodgers, he has a Super Bowl. He has one. He got it like in the first 5 or 6 years of his career. He has one, right? There's rooms he can go in because he's a Super Bowl champion. But then once you get in the room, you realize, oh, wait, there's a back room for guys who've done it more than once. There's rooms that Tom Brady can go in that even Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers can't go in. Tom Brady is one of one. He got like 7 of the things, did it with 2 different teams. He's different. You know what I'm saying? But the goal is to do it more than once. Once you get that first one, it's an itch. It's a scratch. You got to get there. And the only way you do that is by making sure that your team is able to financially sustain you and sustain the team around you. Also, your team has to draft well. Your team has to evaluate talent, develop, right? Make the right decisions financially, draft wise, like, coaching wise, front office wise. So much goes into it. But if your quarterback has the presence of mind, if your quarterback has the self-awareness to say, you know what? I need to understand how my contract affects the guys around me, because no man is an island. Every man must pull strength from the guys around him. I can't get mad. So people can say whatever they want about Jalen Hurts. The results are the results. I think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in football because you can do like Pro Bowler, All Pro, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. Okay, you can nitpick his stats. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing. Nitpick his stats. I don't care. I don't care. Because a lot of people say, hey, with that roster, anybody could win. It's not true. We've seen guys with talented rosters can't get it done. We've seen it. See, my thing is, right, when you're in my opinion, when you're building your roster and you trying to find your quarterback, you see so many people get caught up in, man, he could throw a football over the mountains. Man, that spiral is beautiful. He could fit that bad boy in the keyhole. Look at that off-platform throw. They get so caught up in the glitz of the glam of the position instead of asking one crucial question. Can you win with this guy? Who is he when the pressure is on? Who is he when you got to have this drive? Who is he when you're down double digits? I know who Jalen Hurts is in those situations. I've seen it. Who is he when you got to have this 4th down conversion? You got to have that 2-point conversion. I know who Jalen Hurts is in those situations. Say what you want about his talent. Say what you want about his talent. I know who that guy is when it matters most. Nitpick his stats all you want. I know who that guy is. Criticize the film all you want. I know that brother gonna win that game, though. Ain't that what you're looking for in the quarterback? I didn't realize it was a beauty contest. I thought we were in this to win football games. If I know I can win with that guy, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with that. I don't care. I don't care if you can find somebody taller, stronger, faster. I don't care who you find. If I can win with him, if I can build around him, and he can elevate the guys around him, I'm cool with that. People get so caught up in this fantasy football. They get so caught up on the list and the Chris Sims list and this guy and that guy. And can he win? Who is he when it matters? Who is he? You're only as good as who you are when it matters most. I'm sorry. Quarterbacking goes beyond just throwing a pretty football. Pre-snap, Jalen Hurts was phenomenal pre-snap in 2024. Phenomenal in the pre-snap. Pre-snap, decision-making, putting the ball where your guys like it. Knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of. Playing the game with no ego. Knowing when you got to put your cape on and knowing when it's time for you to let your boys eat. I respect Jalen Hurts so much for not putting himself above team. Just think about if Jalen Hurts, hypothetically speaking, let's just say Jalen Hurts whacked the Eagles. He got them for what he got them for, everything he could have got them for. And the cap hits were insane. Maybe we're not able to re-sign Devontae or AJ. Maybe we're not able to re-sign Jordan Mailata or Landon Dickerson or Lane Johnson or Cam Jurgens or Zack Baun. Maybe we're not in position to build this team the way Howie Roseman has. And trust me, I'm not here to convince nobody that feels otherwise. Either you believe me or you don't. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince nobody. This isn't a debate show. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to tell you how I see the game. I'm not in the business of trying to overcomplicate this thing. Can you win with him? Can he elevate guys around him? Can he make the throws? Is he mobile? Is he healthy when I need him most? Is he reliable off the field? You know what I'm saying? Is he presidential? Does he carry himself with reverence? Does he carry himself with aura? Does he represent your organization well? You feel what I'm saying? Like Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is what you need, what you want in the quarterback. He's everything you want in your quarterback. Everything you want. He wins Super Bowls. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. Leader on and off the field. Married man. The son of a coach. The son of a football coach. The son of educators. Bachelor's degree from Alabama. Master's degree from Oklahoma. What's not to like? What's not to like? Oh, because his stats don't match that guy's. Okay. Oh, because he had a rough game. Okay. Oh, because he's not tall. He don't throw the ball like this. He don't make these off-platform throws. Okay, all right. Okay. Whatever. Isn't it funny how Jalen Hurts, I believe he's like top 5 or top 10 fantasy quarterbacks in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Hurts is a fantasy darling. He's a fantasy darling. You get Jalen Hurts in fantasy, you're going to get points. You're going to get points. But for some reason, he's discussed a certain way. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. But again, I look at these other quarterbacks in the NFL, and you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't blame Dak for taking $60 million from those dummies. I don't blame him. Like I said, I don't blame a player for whacking a team. Now, don't complain about not having pieces around you. I'll say that. I'll say that to you, but I'm not mad at a player whacking his team. I swear to you, I'm not. As long as it ain't my team. I don't mind. Because if the GM is going to let it happen, if their front office is going to let it happen, then it's on them. It's on them. It's on them. Because roster building isn't just the responsibility of the player. It's at the responsibility of ownership, the GM, the front office executives. They have a responsibility to make sure those numbers make sense for them as well. And Howie Roseman has been phenomenal. Howie Roseman and Nicole Lynn have been phenomenal at navigating the landscape of contracts. I think Nicole Lynn also represents Jihaad Campbell as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the long term. But Howie Roseman and Nicole Lynn found common ground. Hey, listen, we don't mind giving this guy what he wants or what he's worth. We just got to make sure that we can still build this thing around him. How can we make sure he gets what he wants while also making sure our cap hits are reasonable? Let's really revisit Jalen Hurts' cap hits. Let's really think about this, because the first year of the deal in 24, the first year of the deal taking effect in 2024, $13.5 million of a cap hit. $13.5 million. He's making $51 million a year. Had a $13.5 million cap hit. 2025, this upcoming season, a $21.8 million cap hit. 2026, $31.9 million cap hit. And in 2027, a $42.1 million cap hit. And in 2028, a $47.5 million cap hit. But by then, be prepared for the Philadelphia Eagles to negotiate, extend, whatever it may be. In 2023, his cap hit was $6.1 million. Yo, listen, Devontae Smith, another player. Devontae Smith is another player that people felt like he could have got more. He probably could have got more. But Devontae said, I got what I wanted. I got what was okay for me. Because at the end of the day, with all and look, this coming from somebody who don't have millions, right? It's coming from somebody who don't have millions. But if I had to make an educated guess, is there a real difference between 25 million and 28 million, or 25 and 30? Especially the money you're making off the field and whatnot. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective and how you choose to live and how you want to live. Again, you got wide receivers out there who making 30 plus, 33 million a year. Hey, cool, get that money. Especially if it's an organization you really don't trust for real. So get that money. The Bengals, Shamar Stewart, the rookie, hasn't even signed his contract because the Bengals are trying to be funny money. Devontae said, listen, $25 million a year, I'm good. They renegotiated AJ, gave him $32 million a year. Got with him early, knowing that price going to jump up. They got his money out the way early. Saquon Barkley, they say, listen, Saquon, we know we just paid you. Let's extend you. Let's renegotiate this thing. At face value, you say, damn, they're paying him a lot. But Howie Roseman doesn't sign a deal, doesn't make a deal he can't handle. That's how I see it. I look at the Bengals as a joke. The Bengals, I don't care who their quarterback is, who they got a wide receiver, they're never going to win anything. Just look at how they do business. They've gutted their defense. They're losing players on defense because of their malpractice financially. They cut Jermaine Pratt, their best linebacker. They're in the midst of a tumultuous negotiation with Trey Hendrickson. If there even is a negotiation going on, Trey Hendrickson is one of the best edge rushers in football, one of the most productive edge rushers in football. It's a fact. He deserves to be paid like Myles Garrett and Max Crosby and Nick Bosa. He deserves that kind of money. TJ Watt about to get paid too. The Bengals are playing around. Shamar Stewart, rookie. They trying to fleece him in his contract negotiations. He may not even play for them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but they decided to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in the same offseason. I think they paying Jamar Chase over $30 million, right? And they paying T. Higgins like 28, 29, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check this. Jamar Chase is making 40. Jamar Chase is making $40.2 million a season. And T. Higgins is making 28.7. AJ Brown's making 32. And Devontae's making 25. So $55 million between AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and $69 million. $69 million between Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's crazy. 57 versus 69. That's $12 million. That's $12 million. You could do a lot with $12 million. You could do a lot. Man, Jalen Hurts understands the assignment. Devontae Smith understands the assignment. AJ Brown's contract is a steal. You got DK. AJ Brown is the 5th highest paid receiver in football. And many consider him the best. I consider him the best. AJ Brown's making 32. DK Metcalf making 33. CeeDee Lamb is making 34. Justin Jefferson is making 35. And Jamar Chase is making 40.2. Help me understand this. Help me understand this. How did we go from 32 million, 33 million, 34 million, 35 million to 40 million? How did the Bengals get stuck paying Jamar Chase $40 million when Justin Jefferson is making 35? Jamar Chase is the highest paid. Justin Jefferson is the number 2. And again, this is not me saying he doesn't deserve the money. This is me saying Cincinnati. How did you allow yourself to be paying a receiver $40 million when the second highest paid guy's been getting paid 35? You mean to tell me we skipped 36, 37, 38, 39? How? Yeah, you mean y'all couldn't have got away with paying him 36 or 37 for real? They could have got away with paying him cheaper than that if they got ahead of it. Same thing with T. Higgins. T. Higgins is making 28.75. They could have got away with paying him way more. They could have got away with paying him way less. Like, this is what happens when the team doesn't know what they're doing. And also, this is what happens when some players choose self over team. And again, when you're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm choosing self too, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't blame T. Higgins. I don't blame Joe Burrow. I don't blame Jamar Chase for whacking the Bengals. I do not blame them because the Bengals are for self. The Bengals don't care about winning. They don't. They want you to think that because they got Joe Burrow as their quarterback. But I promise you this, Joe Burrow will not end his career in Cincinnati. I can feel it. Joe Burrow will not end his career in Cincinnati. Neither will Jamar Chase, and neither will T. Higgins. The Bengals will fumble this bag. The Bengals will fumble this opportunity because they don't know how to build rosters. Just look at the Eagles and how they did it. All you got to do is copy and paste, but they don't know how to do it. Let me get to these super chats, y'all. My bad. Miss Linda Washington with the $4.99 donation. Thank you, Miss Washington. I really do appreciate you. Sweet Chin Music with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my guy. He says Jalen Hurts is a winner, and his numbers will always reflect what it took to win. That's all that matters. Absolute fact. AJ Jones with the super chat. He says if Jalen wins another Super Bowl, will the media still hate? They'll find a way. They will find a way. Don't worry about it. They will find a way. You know what I mean? Thank you, AJ, Sweet Chin Music, and Miss Linda for the super chat. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to continue to donate to the channel, all you got to do is hit that super chat button at the bottom of the chat window, or you can drop a super sticker as well. Entirely up to you guys. I appreciate all the love and all the support. All your investments is why this set, why this office, why my home studio looks the way it does, because you guys continue to donate to the channel. So thank you so much for being supporters. All right. Where were we? So yeah, man, Nicole, Lynn, and Jalen Hurts, they saw eye to eye in this situation. Howie Roseman, same thing. They saw eye to eye. Jalen Hurts understood that, hey, I want to win. I don't just want to be paid. I want to win. I'm gonna get my money, but I want to win, and I want to do it the right way. Like I look at some of these organizations, and like I understand why their fans are mad at Jalen Hurts. I understand why their fans hate Jalen Hurts or they criticize Jalen Hurts at every opportunity. Why they nitpick his game. I understand it. I would be mad too if my organization didn't know what they were doing financially. I would be mad too. If they continue to blow money and put the money in the wrong places, and I'm seeing what these other teams, I'm seeing what the Eagles are doing, I'm seeing what the Chiefs have done, I'm seeing what teams that know how to build roster, like I would be mad too. I would be mad too. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, man. Shout out to Nicole, Lynn. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. If you guys are just coming into the show, make sure you smash that like button. You know, we were discussing Nicole Lynn's comments regarding Jalen Hurts' contract, and you know, she made it very clear that Jalen was his main concern was not self. His main concern was making sure that, you know, the team can still build around him. The guys on the team can still get paid. You know, he wasn't even trying to be the highest paid guy. You know, Nicole Lynn, she made it happen for him, but you know, that wasn't really his main concern. He wanted to understand how his contract impacted the rest of the team over the long term. And his contract is now looking like one of the best contracts, one of the best quarterback contracts that we have right now. He's not even the top 10 quarterback in terms of money. He's not. Jalen Hurts' contract, his average salary is ranked 11th amongst active quarterbacks, 11th. And out of all the quarterbacks who are making $50+ million a year, Jalen Hurts is the only one with 2 Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl ring. Out of all those guys making $50+ million a year, Jalen Hurts is the only one with 2 Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl win. That's the reality. That's the reality, you guys. All right. We're about to get out of here. I appreciate you guys for locking in the way you guys do. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It's always fun when we connect. Got a lot of content dropping tomorrow for you guys. Me and my guy, Coach Marcus from Pro Fan Talk, we're going to be streaming in the evening with you guys. So make sure you guys lock in. And the plan is also to have an episode of the Link Up tomorrow at I want to say noon. That's the goal. That's the goal. So make sure you guys continue to stay locked in on the content. Make sure you guys donate if you can. No big deal. My man Green Wingman just dropped a $10 super chat. That's awesome, man. He says, Eagles have a rare office situation. It's the one, if not the only organization that respects their players as humans, minus the CJ situation. Reason why the NFL is not happy how we do business. Yo, even if things don't go well with the Eagles always send you to a team that you can win with, that you can have, that you can be successful at. Even if things don't go well here in Philadelphia, the Eagles not going to burn you. They're going to send you somewhere where they think you can either revitalize your career or be successful. For the most part. Or they're going to send you somewhere that claims they're going to pay you. You know, one situation that stands out to me is the Hassan Reddick situation. When they traded Hassan Reddick to the Jets, they traded him because the Jets said they would pay him. So he was okay with the move because the Jets said they would pay him. And he got traded to a good defense at the time. So they sent you somewhere that they presumed that they was going to pay you. And the Jets obviously ended up not paying him. But regardless, though, you know, for the most part, the Eagles are going to always try to send you somewhere where you can either get your money or play relevant football. It's just that simple. But Green Wingman, like you're so right, man. The Eagles are just one of those organizations that just do good business. They do good business, and people wonder how they can keep getting it done. And you know what, they find these innocuous ways of trying to dismantle what the Eagles have built. They love talking about the void years. They love talking about the dead money down the line or whatever it may be. They love talking about all these things, all these intricate details of how teams handle their finances when it comes to the Eagles, right? They love nitpicking the Eagles' void years as if Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie aren't fully aware of what they're doing. Who cares? They're making the money. They're winning football games. They're winning championships. Who cares? They love saying, man, the Eagles, they're going to have to, you know, deal with those void years down the line. You think Howie Roseman ain't prepared? You think Howie Roseman doesn't know what he's doing? Like, Howie Roseman has foresight. He's not doing any deals that he can't handle on the back end. He can't. I mean, he's not. He's not doing any deals that he can't handle on the back end. Like, you got so many, like, yo, you be seeing so many people try to, well, I mean, they're going to have to worry about those contracts going to come back to bite them later on. Okay. Y'all said that about the Carson Wentz contract, and we flipped that. You know what I mean? The moment I saw Howie Roseman flip that Carson Wentz contract and the Eagles got what they got as a result of those draft picks, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, he's different. He's different. When I saw him flip Carson Wentz and that became what it became, I was like, oh, yeah, Howie Roseman is different. He's a different animal. So, you know, you have smart people in the building. You have a quarterback that understands the business. You have a quarterback that has an agent that does what's in the best interest of the player. You have a GM who understands roster construction and contract construction and understands how to negotiate. You have an owner who's always willing to cut the check. You have an owner who cares about winning. You have a culture, you have a mentality that's selfless. You have a head coach that doesn't handle his guys with ego. Right? He doesn't handle his guys, he doesn't handle his players, he doesn't handle his staff with ego. Nick Sirianni is an egoless head coach when it comes to his players and when it comes to his coaching staff. Now, when he on the sideline and he coaching and he talking his trash to the opponent or to the fan, whatever it is, okay, he's a braggadocious dude. He's brazen. He's brash. He got that energy with him. But when it comes to his guys, there's nobody can tell you anything bad about Nick Sirianni in that building They say he's selfless. They say he really cares about what his players think. He cares about putting his guys in the best position to succeed. He's very detail-oriented. He's very clear and concise in what he expects from his players. The Eagles have built something that works. People on the outside looking in love calling the Eagles tumultuous, love calling the Eagles radical or rambunctious because of the city and the culture that comes with the city and how certain things come and get into the media. Listen, the Eagles are way more buttoned up than people want to give us credit for. They think the Eagles win in spite of the turmoil that we've experienced. No, people understand each other's personalities, and ultimately, they got respect for each other over here. It's just that simple. Alex says we have like 70 plus million of dead cat right now. Who cares? It ain't my money, for one. And for two, Howie Roseman, go handle that. That's how confident I am. That's how confident I am in this program, in this system, in this organization, with this team. I'm grateful that I was born and raised in Philadelphia. I'm grateful that I lived in Philly all my life. Recently moved to Texas. I'm grateful that Philly is in my bloodstream. I'm grateful for that. I couldn't see myself rooting for any other team. Yuck. You feel me? So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, especially for new. You guys are phenomenal. You guys have been awesome. We're going to get out of here. We're going to close the show out. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys check out the content on Spotify and or Apple Podcast. Make sure you guys lock in on the playback, especially you guys who aren't able to watch live. I always appreciate you guys as well. Lock in on the playback if you like. Watch the clips, watch the videos. Lock in on the shorts. Check me out on TikTok and on Instagram at chalkitup_sports. I'm also on X as well. So make sure you guys lock in, okay? It means a lot and it goes a long way. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.